What's going on, Fit Tierra family? This is my first episode, and I'm super happy that I get to be a part of this group and to be able to host this first video about stress on this Thursday. A little bit later today, in this live video, Rod is gonna hop on as well, and we're gonna just kind of talk about how we can go over stress and how to help you guys manage stress. So I have my notes here just to keep me on track. I tend to get off track a lot, but over time, as I continue to kind of participate with you guys in this group, I want to make sure that we give you as much value as you need to make sure that every single buddy in this group has the right outline and the guidance that they need, that you need to be able to get to your fitness goals, okay? So hopefully you guys can join up. If not, and you have any questions, you can comment below. But this is going to be a lot of fun. So the huge topic for this week has been a lot of stress related, so that's why I wanted to kind of cover this topic, because of course everybody in this life right now always has some sort of stressor. And I posted in this other Facebook group and I asked everybody, what's your main stressor right now? What's stressing you out the most? And most of the time it's work. The second response that I got was the stress at home, taking care of the kids, taking care of the dogs and all that they're trying to find a way to balance all that out. And to be able to balance all that out kind of takes some skill, and we're not really shown how to really manage stress in a way that can be very proactive and to help increase your melatonin levels again, which I'm going to cover here shortly. So in this video, I want to go over how well, first I want to go over what is stress, why most people stress, and what stress can do to the body and how we can lower our stress levels. And like I said, it's a huge topic that I like to cover because this past week everybody was asking me how can we lower stress. There's three things that I like to focus on: is stress, sleep, and I think it's just those two right now. But later on, Rod's going to join and kind of give us an idea of what he does to reduce stress. And this is what I do to reduce stress, and this is what I do for my clients to help them reduce stress as well. So, what is stress? If you guys want to comment below your definition of stress, feel free to do that. I would love to see that. And whoever's watching right now, welcome to this video, this series of video right here. So, what is stress? Stress can be defined as, giving you a negative feeling, like you feel anxiety, you feel very, very anxious of an outcome that you don't really want to happen. And sometimes stress can be something from the past that happened in your life that you continually think about all the time, and it puts you in stress. There's different areas of stress too. I have to refer back to my notes, but there's three areas. It could be physical stress, it could be psychological stress, it could be mental stress. Okay, so if we can focus on what our biggest stress factors are, and if we're able to figure that out and then lower that, that's going to help you guys. If you guys have goals in life, to reach a certain amount of income that you want, to have better relationships in your life, and then maybe even to have a better career in your life. But even if, like, mainly in this group right here, if we want to lose fat, this will help you guys lose fat. Because if we're always stressed and always at a 10, then it's going to be very hard for us to lose fat. Because if you're always stressed, stress puts you in survival mode, and it helps retain fat, okay? It actually helps you retain fat. I say help because that's what your body is designed to do. So if I were to ask you guys, if you guys are watching this in the replay or later today, or if you're watching it now, I want to ask you guys 1 out of 10, 1 being very low stress and 10 being very high stress. What number do you guys fit in there? What's your scale? If you're at a 1, it's very low stress throughout the week on average, and if you're at a 10, very high stress, where do you guys sit at? And if you can comment there, I'm pretty sure I can see the comments. If I can't, I'm sorry. But I want you guys to comment below. Yes, I can see the comments. Cool. Comment below what your stress levels are. 1, very low. 10 being really high for the average of the week. Okay. if you guys are always above a 5, it'll be a good idea to get that down to a 1. And not a lot of people teach this, but to be able to understand where it's coming from first and to be able to proactively bring it down, it's going to help us out a lot. So a lot of people stress about things that are happening in the future, things that happened in the past, and I want to kind of go over what stresses the body out, or what happens when the body is in stress. If we're always continually in stress, our body is going to be in survival mode. And we can't really create in survival mode. We're using all that energy to kind of run away from our problems or trying to fix those problems. Because if you imagine yourself back in the past, in the good old days, the ancient days, if you're running away from a tiger or running away from something that becomes a threat for you, biologically our bodies still do this, but if you're running away from a tiger the whole time, your body's always in stress and trying to survive. It is going to retain fat, because fat is energy. And it's also, when it retains that fat, it's going to use that as energy to run away. So it stores that. And if you're not running and your body's in stress and it's storing fat, then you're essentially going to keep gaining weight because you're not even burning those calories. You're not actually running and using your physical body to run away from the tiger, because what you're stressed about right now, you might be stressed about work, so you don't really have to actively run away from work. So that means that if you're not burning any calories and you're still stressed, your body's going to release a lot of cortisol. And if it releases a lot of cortisol, then your melatonin levels drop. And then now you're going to start lacking sleep, because cortisol rises to help you keep you survive. And if you're about to go to sleep, there's no way you can sleep because you're trying to figure these things out. You're running away from a tiger. You can't run away from the tiger if you're sleeping, because you'd probably be dead, right? So in our body is literally designed to increase cortisol levels, to help manage that stress, to help you run away from that tiger, hypothetically. So when you're stressed and you're stressing about work or relationship and all that, and you're always in stress, it's going to be hard for you to use your actual energy, your life force. If you guys feel drained all the time, it's probably because you're stressed all the time. And if you feel stressed all the time and drained all the time, your work is actually, the work that you do in your life is actually going to be affected greatly, impacted greatly. And you know that you can become a high performer, but you are so very tired. And that feeling of being tired can really impact being impacted by being stressed. Okay, so the way we can lower stress, if we can lower stress, but before I go there, I just want to touch base on sleep. If we're very stressed and you guys are always trying to get some good quality sleep, but it's so hard for you to sleep right away, because if it's really hard for you to sleep right away, most likely you're going to keep running in your head all these thoughts of trying to fix these things in your life, or going back on something you did in the past that's stressing you out, that you wish you didn't do or wish you did do. And you keep running that through your head and trying to find all these other possible outcomes, or you just keep beating yourself up over and over because you did that, or how are you going to fix this problem in the future. So it's going to really, really impact your sleep. And if we can't get good quality sleep, again, we're going to not have the energy we need throughout the week, or be a high performer for our work, for our relationships, for our health. And there's 3 things that we really want to focus on is, career, relationships, and health. So if we can't manage stress the way we want it to, or manage our sleep, then that's going to greatly impact the way our relationships are with everything that we do in life. So now I want to talk about how we can lower stress or reduce our stress levels. And there's this thing that's going to start hitting the media, because this is something that not a lot of people realize, is that if we continue doing things that we love to do, then love is actually a form of reducing stress. Because if you keep feeling good, love is a good feeling, a good emotion, then we're not really thinking about all the things that we're worried about. Now, I don't really want to distract you from whatever you're stressing from, because that's a whole nother topic about emotions, which I'm going to cover in the next 2 weeks. But being able to do the things that we love to do consistently, if we can figure out our emotional state, we can have different thoughts associated to our emotional state. So think, hear me out. If you're always feeling depressed, you're gonna keep having depressing thoughts, right? And I want you guys to sit on that for 1 second. Yeah. So if you guys are always feeling, oh crap, I lost my train of thought. Sorry guys, I had to get my dog out of here. So if you're always feeling negative emotions, that is going to be associated with negative thoughts. Imagine feeling like crap, right? In your past, imagine that you felt like crap. And did you, at any moment in that time, did you ever have a positive thought? It's hard. It's hard to have positive thoughts when you feel like crap. So if you start to change your emotional state, then you start to have, if you change your emotional state from negative to positive, then positive will be associated with positive thoughts. And if we can do that, then we're at a good emotional state and psychological state, because now we're able to feel the love that we want to feel. So let me get to the point here. What I'm talking about is called high vibe activities. And this is one of my best ways to reduce stress. One of the best ways that my clients are able to reduce stress and lose body fat. Fast. Not fast, but more efficiently, because if they're always stressed, like I said, your melatonin levels go down, your cortisol levels go up. You're not going to lose a lot of body fat the way you want to. So if you're doing things called high vibe activities, high vibration activities are things that you love to do that you have been putting off for a long time, or put yourself last. And things like this could be, for me, as an example, is getting my hair cut, making sure my house is nice and clean, because it makes me feel more alive. It makes me feel a lot more clear. So getting my hair cut, cleaning my room, making my bed in the morning, meditation, going hiking, spending time with my family. And for a lot of women, like for my girl, her high vibe activities are getting her nails done, getting her hair done, taking a nice hot bath. It could be something that simple, but that's what gives you energy. Love is literally energy that gives you energy, and that love will reduce stress because you're doing things that you love to do. So if you stick to your high vibe activities, you get yourself out of that stressful, emotional survival state, and put yourself into a loving state, a creative state. If you think about it, you're not going to be able to meet somebody when you're running away from a tiger and procreate with them. You can't create when you're always running away. You can't create when you're always stressed. So if we could take you out of that creative or out of that stressful environment, survival environment, and put you on the creative side, then your body's naturally going to do the things with that life force energy, that love energy, and do things that you actually love to do. And it makes it easier to do the things that you want to do, but it's harder to do because you're stressed. So the more we feel good, the more we stick to our high vibe activities, the more we will want to do the things that we love to do. If we feel good, we're going to want to do more things that make us feel good. If we feel like crap, we're most likely going to want to do things that keep making us feel like crap. Just like one time, I'm sure you guys have like said, oh shit, I'm going to eat 5 cookies, just 5 cookies, okay? Eat 5 cookies, you already feel guilty about it. And then you're like, oh, there's 5 cookies left. I might as well just do it since I ate the other 5. That's a form of doing things that, like, you already feel like crap, feel guilty anyway, so might as well eat the rest of it. The same thing if you're wanting to go to the gym but you feel like crap, might as well just eat or stay in because I feel like crap anyways. And it's hard for you guys to stay motivated doing that. So I wanted to help you guys lower stress so you can be a better high performer in life. And the biggest way to do that, a simple way to do that, is by doing things that you love to do. High vibe activities immediately gets you out of stress. When you're getting your hair done and nails done, if something's not as stressful and that you don't think about most of the time, if you're getting that stuff done, you're having conversation with your hairdresser, or you just feel good when you leave and you look at your nails. You feel good. You're not thinking about the stuff that's stressing you out. Okay? So that's one way we can reduce stress. It's called high vibe activities. And I want you guys to be able to take some action steps after I record these videos, because these action steps can really improve dropping your stress levels down. So if you're going to do this activity, what I want you to do is write down 5 to 10 things that make you extremely happy that you haven't done in a while or want to do. And that could be very simple. It could be walking outside for the first time in a long time. It could be going to the gym. It could be getting your nails done. It could be getting your hair done. It could be walking your dogs. It could be talking to an old friend you haven't talked to in a long time because you've been so busy. Any of that. Do that for 1 week, and I promise you your stress levels will go down and you'll start to feel really good. Okay? Number 2, the second thing that we can do to lower stress is through mindfulness. Okay? And a lot of people, if I mention meditation, which I do a lot, some people run away from it. So what I want to call that is just mindfulness. And it could be very hard because we're so trained to run away from our emotions, our thoughts. If we think of a negative thought that runs automatically in your head, you're going to feel a negative emotion. You don't want to feel that. You weren't trained to feel that, especially for men. We're not supposed to cry. We're not supposed to feel our emotions, or it was deemed bad. So the second way is through mindfulness, meditation. Whatever is stressing you out, instead of thinking about that all the time and running away from it or trying to solve it, what you can do is actually, which is really hard because if we do nothing, it seems like a lot of work because doing nothing is a lot of work. And nothing, I mean, as in closing your eyes and just sitting with your thoughts and sitting with your emotions and feeling through your emotions of why you feel stressed. Because here's the thing, guys, if we do that, what actually happens, if you feel stress, whatever that stress triggers an emotion, stress is an emotion, but whatever stress triggers another feeling, you can feel stress, and then from that stress point, you might feel disappointed or feel guilty, okay? If you feel those emotions, it's actually linked to something that's familiar that happened in your past. If you think about it, if you're, I don't have any good examples right now, but for some example, if you're driving on the road and someone let's say that you haven't dated someone in so long, or you don't feel worthy enough to date somebody, and you go past this person that's very attractive, and you talk yourself out of it. You're like, oh man, he or she doesn't like me, or thinks I'm not very attractive. And you feel these emotions of unworthiness. That actually has a familiar feeling from the past where you tried something like that and you probably acted and tried to talk to that person, but you got rejected and you felt unworthy. So in the future, you're going to feel unworthy again. And if you kept stopping yourself from talking to that person because you felt unworthy, you now condition your body to protecting you from feeling the feeling of unworthiness. So if we're stressed about something and we feel unworthy, it's most likely coming from the past of that familiar event. And if we can just sit with ourselves and become mindful and aware of what's actually going on in your body, then we can use that to our advantage and help lower stress a lot. Because if we can go to the cause of why you feel that way from whatever stress induced, then we can change the outcome. So if you imagine yourself closing your eyes for a couple seconds, it's actually going to be really, really hard, but it's going to have the biggest benefit at the end. If you close your eyes and you just listen to your body, literally just be silent. Feel whatever emotions come up. Let those thoughts come and go in your head and just be with it. And the longer you do this, the less thoughts you're going to have running in your head. And the longer you do this, things are going to start coming up to you that you've been running away from so long. And we need to do that. We're emotional beings. We're meant to feel all these emotions, and negative emotions too. Because if we don't feel that, then we're just going to keep suppressing, and that's going to lead into depression. You're going to keep depressing your emotions down, where you're stuck in the mood, feeling depressed all the time because you're having some anxiety or guilt that happened in the past. And if we're not able to feel those emotions, imagine yourself like the parent to your inner child. Your emotions are pretty much your inner child. Since your brain cannot tell the difference between something you imagine versus something that already happened in the past, then you can literally go back in the past, be with your little kid, and tell your little kid it's going to be okay. Because if you have kids, or if you have somebody that looks up to you, that's a little kid, or like you have a daughter or a son or a nephew or somebody that looks up to you, and they come up to you, or your friend comes up to you and says, hey, I feel really depressed right now, you're most likely, or that person's most likely going to want the love from you. But you're like, if my daughter came up to me and said, "Hey, Dad, I feel really depressed right now," I'm not gonna tell her to go work out to distract yourself. I'm not gonna tell her, "Hey, let's go out and drink some or take some shots or whatever." No, her first reaction or first knowing is she's gonna expect some love from me. And our body is the same way. Our inner child needs that the same way. So if we're feeling stress and we're feeling all this anxiety and fear of something and unworthiness, and we're just brushing it off and like, I'm just gonna get to work, then essentially I'm pushing my daughter away. You're pushing yourself away. Whatever happened to you in the past, if your parents weren't there for you when you felt that way, you can be with yourself. You can be that parent to yourself. You can be if you bring awareness and feel through those emotions, then the awareness comes, love follows awareness. Awareness is love. And the more you feel through those emotions, you're no longer going to feel guilty or ashamed or unworthy, because you're going to start crying, because that's all you needed. All those emotions that you feel, I'm going way ahead of myself. All the emotions that you feel just need to be noticed. Every time you feel triggered, triggered all the time, and you feel an emotion from that trigger, that's just an area of your body that needs to be noticed. And if we can notice that and feel it, I guarantee you feel through all of that. It's going to take you back to a memory when you're a little kid or something that happened in your past, and you feel through all that, then your stress lowers, because now you're with yourself and your emotions. So those are my top 2 ways to lower stress. And lowering stress will reduce your stress levels, your cortisol levels, and increase your melatonin levels, where you're going to have the best sleep of your life. Okay? And what are the benefits of that? You're going to drop body fat percentage. You're going to be a very high performer on every relationship of your life. It could be work, it could be your romantic relationships, with your kids too, if you have kids. Literally everything in your life will be improved if we can lower stress, because that is when you are the best. Okay? We can't create when we're stressed. So if you guys got anything from this talk, go ahead and comment below. And I hope this helped out a lot, okay? Because this is something that if we can get good at this, get good at reducing our stress, then I guarantee you your whole life will change, okay? If you have any questions, comment below. If you got any big takeaways, comment that below as well. I hope to get to know you guys even more. And I don't think Rod was able to get on here. If not, that's okay. Next time we'll ask Rod what he does to lower his stress. Okay? So if you guys have any questions and comments, comment below. If not, I will talk to you guys soon. And if you want to see any more content that'll help you out, this is the group. I'm out of 5. I think that's Rod. Rod, that's pretty good. We could talk about what's keeping you out of 5 right now. I think that's all, guys. So have a great night, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Coach Aaron is out.